New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
All right, here we go. What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Knick Of Time Show. Here, give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And we're here to talk about a Knicks win. That's right, the Knicks beat the Pelicans 118 to 85 plus those shots for the Knicks. And I do not take this for granted because we have been struggling with some lowly teams. So it's good to get this win. And now I'm going to get to these stats right now. I'm going to talk about Mikal Bridges, who's been struggling, but gives us 31.1 blocks and a career high tying 7 3-pointers on the night. Now, Bridges, Brunson gives you 16 points and 9 assists. Cat struggles from the field and gives you 14 points, but gives you 19 rebounds. And the Knicks do it defensively, holding the Pelicans to 10 points in the first quarter, 28 points in the first half, and destroy the Pelicans and get this game and lock it up. We're going to talk about it all. Good, not much bad, not much ugly. It's all good today, and I'm happy, man. I'm happy we got this. I don't take this one for granted at all, but the Knicks lost to the Bulls. All right, we lost to the Bulls. We struggled against Dallas. We lost to Utah. So any win we can get, especially one where it's extremely lopsided, where we're setting franchise records or getting close to it, I am embracing it. But before we get into the details of the game, I'm going to introduce you to my guy. It is the Latin assassin, Lee Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
Mikal Bridges, let's go!
Man, whew, needed it.
Really needed it. Very happy that Knicks Twitter, myself, Knicks YouTube community did not stare him out of an NYC. He seems to be built for the moment. I really like this calm, cool demeanor after the game, not putting too much into the fact that he really bounced back, almost as if he expected it. That type of mentality that I love. Hart has the same. Brunson has the same. OG, Cat. So love his calm, cool, collected demeanor, and hope to see it extended next game where we don't need him maybe more than we ever have to hold down the fort against Franz Wagner and the rising Orlando Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of impossible for these guys and Mikal not to hear what's going on, considering the way he's been playing. And Josh Hart has talked about how they're not worried about it. The coaches talked about how they're not worried about it. You wonder if Mikal is worried about it, but he continued to say, this is a new team. I'm trying to get used to the system, and it's been a struggle for him thus far. But today, I just liked what I saw. And I'll start with the offense for one. And the reason why I'm not taking this for granted is so far this season, Mikal has been missing wide open threes. Not just contested threes, wide open threes. So I don't care if the Pelicans are playing or whatever team is playing. If he's open and he misses it, it's been bad for us. And he's been hitting those today. Career tying 7 threes for sure. Really love that. Also, above the break threes, it seems like he's starting to slowly get out of that mental headspace where it's like, it's above the break, I can't make it. Nah, he hit a couple of those today, so I'm happy about that. And he was just extremely aggressive, more aggressive than I've seen him play for most of the year. I think the most aggressive I've seen him play was probably that Pacers game where he was just posting the Pacers in the paint all day. Today, he was just letting it fly. The hitch in the shot was completely gone. It looked smooth. I loved what I saw from Mikal Bridges today. And like you said, we need that carryover till next game.
Yeah, I also equally loved his attention to detail on defense and how active he was. This was a game where even though the Pelicans were diminished on the roster, it was more their front court where they were missing their depth with Zion and Brandon Ingram being out. They had their guards. Yeah. DeJounte Murray is still working his way back onto the court, playing high usage role as their lead guard. But see the combination of McCollum and Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III, those three were the instrumental in them still being a competitive team. And that's where we needed OG and Mikal Bridges to play excellent defense. I thought this was Bridges' best game defensively, not just in playing deflections and passing lanes, but really guarding the point of attack. Was crucial today in slowing down their offense and really throwing their 3-point shooting out of whack. I believe they shot like four, what was it, like 4 for 27, which is unbelievable. It's very rare that we hold a team under 30 3-point shots a game, but to hold them to 4 or 27, if you look at all the Knicks defensive metrics across the NBA.com, you'll see we're actually pretty strong, top five. And a lot of defense. JL has pointed out before the podcast started, they're top five in transition defense across the NBA. But where the fall off, that not the fall off, the chasm happens is on a 3-point line. And today, this was a game that they were able to collectively turn around. OG and campaign were instrumental as well. The Knicks defense has really struggled. I mean, it's the third worst in terms of number of threes made per game at 14.7, and also allowing them to shoot the third worst mark at 38%, 37.6 for where to round up. 38% shooting. That is the reason why we've been down in the first quarter, and also the reason we've lost games against teams that are missing stars, like that Dallas game or that Utah Jazz game.
Yeah, we've been really bad with opponent attack defense, extremely bad with the rotations, and I felt like both today were really good. We didn't. I felt like by the time we even gave them an open three, we were up by 30. So it's kind of like human nature at that point. It's like, well, dang, we go up like 30. These guys are dead in the water. So I kind of get that, but like I really was extremely happy with the effort. I thought the Cal guarded like the guards, like you said. Well, there was a couple of times where I saw him on DeJounte. He did pretty good job bottling him up. CJ McCollum had a long night too as well.
Yeah.
McCollum had 13 points. 13 points. He was 6 of 16 with 37%. DeJounte Murray was 5 of 17 for 29%. The only time they really started to get going was the third quarter when they were pretty much attacking Brunson. They just attacked Brunson for like 5 or 6 straight plays. And that's kind of the only time they kind of got going. But by that time, the Knicks were just, they were too potent offensively. Okay, cool. You're attacking Brunson, but you couldn't stop us on the other side. So at that point, it was just trading baskets. And at that point, hey, I'll take trading baskets when we're up freaking 40 points in the game.
Yeah, the last time I was on the podcast, I opened with I really wanted to talk about some of the action I saw Tibbs running early in the game, specifically through Carl-Anthony Towns as a screener and then dribble handoff opportunities to get Mikal Bridges going. That's what I wanted to talk about it, but instead I had talked about another game of Mikal Bridges misusing those opportunities, clinking the ball from three and being too scared to attack closeouts. This game, completely different situation. He not only that, he hit his I think the first 3 out of 4 shots off of that action that was ran very early for him and got him in a rhythm and gave him confidence. This whole time, it hasn't been about bad scheming from Tom Thibodeau. Heard a lot of bad takes today in your Tate's Nits on the Twitter space about Tibbs and lack of imagination offensively. And it's propaganda because the reality shows he didn't do anything different this game that did Mikal Bridges going. It was about Bridges' aggressiveness in attacking closeouts, aggressiveness and not helping or helping at the right time on defense, which then spurred turnovers, which then spurred transition points for him. Easy baskets in transition. That gets him going. That has confidence going. He was attacking closeouts. He was also shooting the ball in motion. That we haven't seen that at all. We haven't even seen those kind of misses. He was hitting them on both the left and right side of the perimeter, and those are his 2 favorite spots on the floor. Love the aggressiveness when he has the ball, make a quick decision. Find a teammate, or damn it, take your man off the dribble. And he was beating some really solid perimeter defenders today, which makes it even more exciting thinking about how he could be against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was like a faint crowd that was talking about how Tibbs is not being creative and featuring Mikal Bridges. I'm like, oh, he's been featuring Mikal Bridges for 5 games straight.
Yep.
Like, that is not what's happening right now. Mikal Bridges, like you said, he just hasn't been aggressive, or he likes home cooking too. Like that West Coast trip, he shot really bad during the West Coast trip, and to the point where people forgot the stretch where he actually shot well from at least the 2-point lane, like where he was a number 1 in the league in fadeaways above Kevin Durant, above Luka Doncic. So people started to even forget that he had even that stretch in him. but he has to be more aggressive, and I like the aggressiveness today, and he definitely did that. And I like the point that you mentioned, Lee, about um shooting those threes off on movement. Uh, like he was doing it in the beginning of the year a little bit. I think he got gun shy because he was missing it, and was glad to see that that part of his game is back today. And we need that carryover to play against a Magic team who is really potent defensively.
We need that because that's one of the big things Devo brought to this team.
Yes.
It made us really hard to stop consecutively throughout entire possession because we had that as a bailout option. So if that can be replaced by Mikal Bridges, someone who's taller, longer, stronger than Devo, is able to hit shot off because of his high arc against different defenders. That could be a completely new estate plan that we can utilize when we play teams that are really good on ball defense. Yeah, I love the assertiveness. I think he's finally going to get himself out of his slump. I think it's okay to bully athletes when they're not performing up to standards. I think they do read it. They don't read all of ours, but the tweets that pop off, I think they read those because they're in their algorithm and they're interested to see just what the fans are saying about them, good or bad. And I think it's important to motivate them, not because they're making X amount of money, but because that's their job. And he is known as a defensive specialist. So I expect him to at least play hard on that end. And he hasn't. And he's been the main culprit for other teams going off from the perimeter against us, has been him being either helping too much or leaving a man too open on a hedge and guarding the rim too much, and then having to crash out against a three-point shooter and not get there until the ball is already released. That's been a big problem for us, leaving shooters wide open. We're one of the worst teams in the NBA at allowing the opponent field goal percentage. So that's really key. He was more active tonight. Granted, New Orleans doesn't have a whole lot of shooting with Brandon Ingram out and even Zion to an extent. But man, I love the effort. I think he even did a little bit of playmaking action too with that second unit. He kind of filled that Josh Hart role, being a little bit more of a playmaker. Man, I'm really excited about once Precious returns, what this team could look like.
Yeah, I originally thought he would be more of a playmaker with the second unit. It seems like Tibbs has gone away from that. And our second unit has been like the second worst scoring second unit in the league. So I mean, no, it has been the worst scoring second unit in the league, but I feel like that might change really soon now that McBride is back and Campaign is back. I think that's going to stabilize very, very soon. But definitely good game. Very good game by Mikal Bridges. 31 points, Nick high, tying career high, 7 threes. Yeah, you deserve this whole breakdown for you, man. Because I hope this isn't a one and done. I hope you carry it on to the next game. Also, interesting, Cat's game was interesting too. And shout out to Sean Shepard, who was here with me the last game, who kind of talked about the lack of calls that Cat's been getting this season. And I'm sorry, he's kind of right. I feel like Cat's getting hit a lot, and he doesn't get calls. But the thing that I liked about Cat is, although he's not getting the calls, he's not letting affecting the rest of his game. Like, he didn't shoot well, but if he had to play the entire game, he would have had a career high in rebounds. He had a 27 rebound game in 2019. He had 17 rebounds at the half. And on top of that, like, he was diming up and finding his teammates. And I really like this defense. It's funny. I've been complaining about Cat's defense less and less periodically. I even like how active he is with his hands with the steals. He didn't foul today. It seems like his verticality is getting better. I think Tibbs is getting to him slowly. So I'm curious to see where he ends up around the 70 game mark with this defense, because I feel like it's building slowly with more reps with the Knicks and Tibbs.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's almost like two things that have become really, and I mean, it's in a total complementary way, predictable with the Knicks. One is that Karl Anthony Towns is going to rebound his ass off. My guy had 19 today. I think he was close to 10 within the first quarter. I think he got his 10th like a minute into the second quarter. And as well as Jalen Brunson diming it up on a nightly basis. Having a center that's like going to be top 5 in rebounds and a point guard who potentially be top 5 in assists, Wow, what a long way we have come from Elfrid Payton and Taj Gibson. It's unbelievable. Shout out Elfrid Payton, who actually played pretty decent tonight on defense. I thought he did it the best that he could, and they didn't lose because of him. It was just because of the injury.
That's his calling card. He was never the
Yeah,
guy who didn't play well defensively. That's for sure.
yeah. He played good defense, and I thought he had some nice pass, at least some heads up passes as well. He's always had high offensive awareness. But Karl-Anthony Towns, unbelievable touch. Liked how he didn't necessarily have it offensively, and you could blame that on the refs or maybe just a little bit of a lack of rhythm. But he still came through with a double-double and has some nice dimes and always has a hockey assist. I always thought that Randall was really good as well. Randall would have the pass that led to the pass that led to the score. And I think Carter Towns is doing a good job of initiating that and keeping ball movement as a priority within each offensive set, even if a specific call is not being ran, a specific play is not being ran. And his two-man game with Brunson, to me, is just as good as his two-man game with OG. I really like the chemistry that those two are brought, and a lot of the times Tibbs will operate action after the first quarter, really once the rotations start coming in terms of substitution patterns. He'll run Karl-Anthony Towns and Hart through the same action on the left elbow and run a lot of the backdoor cuts or a lot of the three-point line passes through them. And both of them have become really adept at finding each other and their teammates out of that spot. So with his size, it's really deadly. The same way the Hart is deadly as a smaller rebounder and someone capable of really being an elite mid-range scorer, Cat is unbelievable as a high post passer to backdoor cutters because of his size and awareness and his ability to really throw the ball basically over everybody's head when he catches when he catches someone that back door. So yeah, the offense is looking really good. I'm happy that I'm getting smart enough to be able to notice these things. I wish other Knicks fans could too, because I think they would have a deeper appreciation of how talented Tibbs has been this year, utilizing almost a brand new roster and definitely a very new, refreshing starting lineup, a lineup that he's never had throughout his entire career and has, I think, been using it pretty well. Damn it, what are we, number one, number two in offense? How can you not say that he has? So the proof is in the numbers.
I agree for sure. Number one and two in the offense with Mikal Bridges struggling offensively all year is not bad.
Incredible.
Funny enough, I don't know. Has Mikal Bridges and OG played well together offensively at the same time? No. I don't know if that's happened yet. I kind of feel like I was saying that about Cat and Brunson last week, and now they've done that a few times. But now it's OG and Mikal's turn to get it together because when one person has the juice, the other one doesn't.
Yep,
for sure. But back to your comment about Cat. Yeah, the Cat and Brunson tandem. I just really liked how he's like, all right, you know what? Cat's 3-point shot isn't going. Now we can just go pick and roll, and Cat can just dunk it on everybody's head and embarrass you. Like, I like that.
I love it, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too, man. Me too.
I
it's
like
fun
it.
to watch.
And then I don't know about the way Cat dunks and hangs on the rim. It's extra because he's 7 foot tall, but he feels like a 7 foot tall like teenager the way he plays. I don't know what it is about his demeanor, but he just looks like mad, like like he looks like really happy, like really like from like falling on the floor to doing push-ups on the ground after falling on the floor to the hanging. You know what it is when he dunks? He like hangs his legs up. I think that's what it is. That makes it seem like more fun than what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, he's went from having the zest to having the sauce. I like it. I like the renewed what is it like Motzi? He's almost like really going for physicality with the Knicks, where I think he really leaned toward 3-point shooting and finesse with the Timberwolves. That changed a little bit once Robert got there. He started really being more conscious of being in the post. But with us, I think it's a perfect balance. And him and Brunson have both done this, which is why you had to credit the head coach. Tom Thibodeau has brought out the best offensive part of Brunson, the best offensive part of Cat, and the best offense of Hart and OG. That's 4 out of 5 starters. If Mikal catches fire too, how can you not say Tom Thibodeau has fully utilized this roster to its full potential?
And I think when you start to even look at Dante and what's happening with Dante and the Timberwolves.
Ooh, good point.
And you compare that to how he was here.
Good point.
I think people have to start to give Tibbs his credit, man. And I'm not even going to take 100% credit for that. I feel like Phil mentioned that before, I think. But Dante had a career year here. Goes to the Timberwolves, and he's a shell of himself over there. which is why I'm just like, yo, bring Dante back, dog. Like, we got you. Like, y'all not using them right. We can use them correctly. I love Mikal Bridges. I would love having Dante too, man. Like the fact that he can just be 6, 7 feet behind the 3-point line and just launch that sucker and put the fear of God in you. I love that. So we'll see what happens next year. But Tom Thibodeau in general, I think deserves more credit for developing players,
100%.
young players, and even developing old players.
And to add to that, as a segue, I'm ready to officially sign my Jericho Sims apology form. Now, as everyone knows, I have been very complimentary of our guy Sims ever since like game 7 or 8 of the season, when I really saw a solid turnaround from him and his minutes at the 5. This summer, I got into many debates with Ebony about how far his ceiling is. I sold all my stock to JLS, so I can't cash in. I know if he sells it back to me, he's going to sell it back to me way inflated, which is fine.
Hell yeah.
I might still invest. I think the ceiling might be a little bit further for Sims with the rebounding and rim protection. The man right now currently sits 4th in the entire NBA in opponent field goal percentage and rim protection at the 5 spot, at all spots, but him playing the 5. And he's also given you tonight 10 boards in 16 minutes. I said it, I think, 2 years ago. Even when we had iHeart and Mitch, I thought Sims had the best rebounding rate in terms of a short amount of time on the floor. And if you extended that to 36 minutes, I think he could probably give you 12 or 13 a game. I love his awareness. The same thing you talked about, Kat, in terms of improving his timing and improving his rim protection as a shot blocker, both strong side and weak side. For his Cat, I think also improved with Sims. And Sims is becoming more of a force down low. Unfortunately, not offensively, even though our main man, Kolwick, Payne caught him for a dime on the alley-oop. But I think defensively, he's really becoming a threat. People are becoming less likely to penetrate on him because of his scouting report has changed, signifying him as a solid rim protecting player, and he's earned Tibbs' respect, and I think he will remain in a conversation of rotation until Mitchell Robinson is back. I think you'll probably see it expand to 9, maybe 10, depending on who's healthy. If we have Shamet and Precious back on the floor, I think Sims will still be in the rotation, all by 10 or 12 minutes a game because of how great he defends the rim. You need that if Cat's in foul trouble. Solid, man. Love Jericho Sims. Really happy for him. I have no problem with signing the apology form and can't wait to do so once everything is back.
Hell yeah, pass that joint around, man. Got my Sim stock over here looking like NVIDIA over here. All right, let's go. Let's go, Sim. Listen, man. Sims, I've always felt like I said this a few years ago. Every time when I remember when Sims played Brooklyn and he had to guard Kevin Durant, switch to somebody else, hedge on somebody else, then come back to Kevin Durant. He was able to stop him a couple of times in a row. I was like, oh, there's something to this kid. Yeah, there's something there. And then he's been injured a lot, and it seems like because he's been injured, he lost his timing. But I think with the reps that he's getting now, that timing that we started to see the year when we applauded him has come back. And on top of that, like the silly fouls that he used to get all the time between like last year and the beginning of this year have disappeared. He's learned to intimidate with his presence all the time. Like, I feel like a really good example of that was today. I don't remember what Pelican was going to the hole for a dunk, and Sims just kind of just jumped at him, and then but held his arms back. And then I forgot what play that was, and the play ended up just missing the dunk just because of the presence of Sims. And
that's what I was trying to say too.
Huh?
That's the point I was trying to make too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's imposing. He's just intimidating people with his presence. And when he feels like he has to block the shot, he'll block the shot. So people will be like, he doesn't have a lot of blocks. He's not a rim protector. He's just using his mind. It's kind of the same thing that the Knicks were doing with Mitch. Mitch was number 2, he was top of the league in shot blocks when he got here. And then he learned to intimidate with his presence so he wouldn't be in so much foul trouble. And that's the same thing that the Knicks are kind of doing with Sims right now, and it's paying off. So happy for Sims. Shout out to Sims. And yeah, good job just building on your confidence and building on the reps.
And I've been saying it, I think the mantra of this season is win the rebounding battle, win the game. I really believe there's a strong correlation with this team that rebounding is a metric that we need to look at. Last year, I think it was assists. when we had Randall and we had Brunson, who was struggling with becoming a playmaker. The year before that, I think it was like points in the paint or rim protection percentage. This year, I think it's rebounding. Sims has helped a lot with that. We won the rebounding rate by 20, 61 to 41 tonight. And Sims' 10 rebounds in 16 minutes was a huge part of that when Cat got a rest.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's that between that and the 3-point shooting, because I felt like well, we talked about this before the game. Actually, you mentioned this about how the Knicks were like bottom of the league in 3-point shooting. Once we start to clean that up, I think we'll be fine. It's funny. I was looking at some defensive metrics. We're not even bad in points in the paint really anymore. I guess maybe it's a combination of the schemes that Tibbs are doing, Cat improving, Sims being top 4. But we started the season being bottom of the league and points at the rim, opponents' points in the paint. And the Knicks are currently, according to NBA.com, top 9 team at defending the paint, which is kind of surprising. So as long as we start to guard the 3, I think it'll be fine. And hopefully the Knicks have kind of learned. I can also give out a shout out to OG Anunoby too, he sucked offensively, but defensively, he's still him. Though he's just still him defensively, man. Like even when he stinks it up, and he sucked offensively since the 40-point outburst. I kind of feel like he's just in his head, because there's no way you just drop down to earth that far after just going scorched earth for like the first month. But defensively, he's been a demon.
Yep.
Woo. Yeah, that block on
Theus.
Yeah.
Tyus.
Tyus. That's the word, Tyus. That block on Tyus was insane.
Unbelievable. And I love it that the sequence was finished by a made Mikal Bridges 3 on the other end. That made it even sweeter.
Yes,
that's that wing stop we've been waiting for.
Yeah, man. We need that 1-2 punch for sure. That's the wing stop we've been waiting for sure.
I stress this when Precious Achiuwa gets back. I think our defense identity completely changes. Having those 3 interchangeable, Precious, Mikal, OG, that's a luxury maybe a handful of other teams can replicate. That's a lot of switchable guarding wings who can take the 1 through 5, who can guard both sides of the pick and roll, who are able to recover on a 3-point line and also defend the rim. We saw it. In terms of per 36 minutes, Precious Achiuwa had as good of a rim protection number as iHeart and better than Mitch last season. Much less minutes, much less usage, but still, in the minutes that he got, he was essential at being a plus no matter who he was paired with on the floor.
Wait a minute. Will he be back Tuesday? Wait, hold on. I see a comment. Game channel says Precious will be back Tuesday. Is that true?
No.
Can you confirm? Who said it? Did Ian say it? Who said it?
I was looking today at articles, Googling, see if I could find any update, and I heard that he still had a long ways to go based on Tibbs. He's in full contact practice, but he doesn't feel like he has his explosiveness yet.
Got you. Okay. I definitely feel like I would have seen that one. Gunshots though for John Mark, $5 super chat. It says, keep the good work, guys. Where is Effie? She knows her stuff. Effie is on sabbatical. She's just taking care of business right now, as of Ryan. But I know she'll be back at a certain point. It might take a minute, but she'll be back at a certain point, and definitely we'll love to have Ebony back for sure.
For sure. We all love her.
Facts. All right, cool. Shout out to Ryan too. Supposed to be coming back soon. Hopefully we have a full squad back. Although I do love the back and forth with Flea. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Iron sharpens iron.
There you go. Swing. All right. Any thoughts on Josh Hart?
Man. I've been really impressed, man. He's been so damn efficient, giving you all-star level production at everything but scoring. And even on the scoring side, he might not be an all-star, but damn it, he's dependable. Sometimes when our offense falls apart, when we're going through a bad shooting stretch, he saves us with his one-man transition game. He's so highly efficient in short mid, the short mid and the paint. He's unbelievable.
Mhm.
He's got a really nice floater, great little hook game there. He's really awesome at scoring through contact and drawing fouls. He's truly the heart of a team. I think he's our identity. With as he goes, our whole team goes, and when he's really locked in and energized and hitting a three ball, our team just seems to pick up momentum, not just game to game, but stretch to stretch. And I really hope that we enter December. We have a very weak schedule besides 2 Orlando games. I really hope that he's ahead of a snake as we start building multiple games above 500 and really gain some distance in the top 4 standings.
Yeah, Josh in general, his offense has been kind of surprising to me. Like you said, the 3-point shooting, he's been statistically shooting better than Mikal this season. I don't know. This 7 threes in a row that might have helped even things out a little bit. But but I think what's really impressed me about Josh is what the people have been saying about the bailout options. He's been a bailout option for us. He's been one of the best players in the league at hitting the three when the shot clock is going down. And it's not even just the three. It's like even if he had to hit a 4-away two like he did today, that shot's going in. Something about him when the pressure is on, he seems like he's starting to clear his mind and just letting the game come to him, and it's benefiting us on top of the defense and the rebounding and the assist and the pushing the ball after rebounds. All of it is benefiting us tremendously. So yeah, love what Josh Hart is doing this year. All right, yo, and campaign Miles McBride. I feel like I got to mention him as a duo. McBride is back. He's shooting threes. He's looking better than ever. And the thing I like about Miles too is like the way he shoots threes. Like he'll shoot over you on tight coverage. I think that's what I really like about him too. He'll shoot over tight coverage. He's not afraid to get in the paint. The playmaking is getting there. And then when you put him with campaign together defensively, I think we're going to start to turn the tide against how weak our bench has been now that both guys are healthy at the same time. And I hope that kind of continues moving forward. So honorable mention, shout out to Miles McBride, who was one of our double-figure scorers in the first half, and then kind of just had to play the back a little bit in the second half. But yeah, he's part of the reason why we got off to a fast start.
Deuce, one of the best bench players in the entire NBA on both sides of the ball. Really has, I think he's played that IQ role even better than IQ. I think if he was given the same opportunity IQ has as a starting guard for the Raptors or a team with the same equivalency, I think he'd be putting up better numbers. I am really high on Deuce. If he hadn't been hurt and dealing with knee inflammation issues, he would be in serious contention for Sixth Man of the Year. I think he might even get that next year. I think he'll probably be come into the season as a lean candidate for the award. Love his unbelievable defense. Him and Campaign on the court, you hit the nail on the head. They're both very they can play each other's role. Like they can kind of go back and forth between being on ball, off ball, and still causing a lot of disruptions playing the passing lanes. And even as like a recovery shot blocker from behind the shooters, disrupt a lot of shots in that capacity as well, which again help defend the 3-point line, which is one of our biggest weaknesses. And you're right, the energy campaign, he has that like, man, if we're only up by 2, one campaign 3 can lead to another, and all of a sudden you're up by 9 or 12, just based on the momentum that his style of play. Because you play so much out of rhythm and out of a shot diet of a team, that can be both a detriment and a help. But I think more often than not, it's a help because of his veteran status and savvy. He knows when to go off and when not to, and defer to his teammates. And I think that it's even better when Precious Achiuwa as a part of the rotation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Tim. Timmy's not even here, so I don't feel like I should even troll him now. But yeah, good game by those guys, the bench. Campaign and Deuce McBride. Let's get to some comments though. Anybody in the comments is standing out? Shout out to the chat, man. Thank you guys for watching with us on a Sunday night.
Man, I appreciate the love and missing for Ebony. We all do. We all miss her analysis. I've especially myself, who's learned so much from her. But she will be back, eventually in the season. Take some time to herself. But also loving the Colwood love. Thank you for correcting me. It was Colwood, not Campaign, who threw that alley-oop. And Colwood, man, I love how quickly he scores when he gets in the game. He don't wait. If he's got an open shot, it doesn't matter if it's a mid-range pull-up, a little bit of a fadeaway, or if he's attacking the basket or just pulling up transition for 3. He's got real strong confidence, both as a scorer and as a assist man. So yeah, I think, man, he's getting some really good grooves with that bench unit, and I'm glad that Tibbs put him in so early. We really had to see them in their fluidity with Jacob Toppin and Sims and McBride, Payne and Kolek. That's a really nice bench unit. Want to see more of it. Hopefully, we're blowing out more teams so we can see it more often.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kolek has been that's probably the surprising thing I've seen from him, especially considering his development from summer league to the NBA. Not to take summer league seriously, but he just wasn't as I don't feel like he was as aggressive shooting in summer league. But I mean, I guess that's what happens when your role changes and you're with a different team. They're probably asking different things from him. So I like the aggressiveness from three from Kolek for sure. It's kind of giving him a skill that you can lean on from the rip. And you'll be able to lean on it whenever he actually ends up being the backup point guard. Who knows, maybe next season or whatever. So yeah, good job by Kolek. Frank Sounds a shout out to Ebony. Gamer Channel says Ebony's still celebrating that Liberty Championship. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Oh man. Gamer Channel says ESPN's injury report says Precious Achua's estimated return. Okay. That estimated is a real key word. For sure. All right. Shout out to Fritz.
Hell yeah.
Sims and Precious might get a bag this summer, so they both might not be here next year, says Knicks Nation TV. Huh. Interesting. What do you think? I don't know. I feel like have they gone enough? Well, first of all, Precious has been injured. And Precious is getting what is he getting? 9 million?
Yeah.
I feel like Precious is still kind of within
6 million. 6 million, not 9.
Oh, he's getting 6 million. Okay. If Precious plays really well, I can see him getting offered like 13 or something. But the fact that he's been injured half the year, I'm not sure what his market is. Like he really has to play to see where his market is. Sims, I can see it. It's possible. And the bag might not even be like the bag for real. The bag might just be like too much for us, considering how much cap gymnastics we're playing. You know what I'm saying? Like the bag for Sims might be 6 million next season. You know what I mean? So it's possible if he starts to get on team's radar as a rim protector, a cheap rim protector, it's possible. I didn't think about that.
Probably unlikely since all 30 teams are dealing with cap gymnastics and trying to stay below the apron. I don't think any team is going to throw a crazy amount to him. I think he'll probably fetch around 2 and Precious will fetch around 10. So I think we might go over for Precious. I don't think we go over for Sims.
Yeah, I don't think we'll go over for Sims. You say he think 2. You don't think he can get like 6 anywhere? No, you know what? You're right. Because the only thing with Sims is he's not really scoring. I feel like if he was scoring more, maybe he'll get the 6. If he's giving you like maybe 9 points a game or something, maybe. But right now he's kind of like giving you 2, and he's only defense. So all right, yeah, I'm with you, Lee. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, something to ponder. Thanks for that comment, Knicks Nation TV.
Yeah, good comment.
All right. I think we've done enough. Next game versus the Magic will be when? Next game versus the Magic.
Tuesday, maybe.
Knicks Magic will be Tuesday at 7:30. Okay, so we'll be back here. Tuesday 7:30. I'll be back home. But you guys aren't complaining as much now that I'm at my sister's house because I have the gunshots and the music. So, so maybe I'll get. Now you'll have the blue lights and the camera and the better audio for me. On top of that. On top of it, I feel like I care more about the gunshots than the audio, though. It's from the comments. It's like, Audio's not as good, but gunshots, we need those.
Let's go.
Like, all right, cool. Y'all got what y'all want. All right. All right, man. Any last words, Lee, before we get to
Don't
these picks?
I told the Knicks not to sleep on Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall cooked us. Now I'm telling them this one's a little bit more obvious, but do not sleep on Franz Wagner. That white boy is stepping up his game. Didn't have a great shooting night tonight against the Nets. Still had 29 and 8, but the last couple games he's been over 20 points, shooting pretty efficiently. I think his overall percentage last season I think was like 18 or 19% from three. It was real bad. He's bumped it up to 33. And also giving you 6 and 6 from dimes and boards and 1.8 steals per game too. So he with Paolo down and injured, he's really filled in as the system. And all those defensive wings are playing great, giving them great ball screens and offensive rebounds, and finishing at the rim. So they're a team that loves transition, love getting after it. They play the passing lanes exceptionally well with Black and Suggs. Please, dear God, just like be prepared. And I know Tibbs is gonna be prepared, but sometimes there's the obvious things you are not concentrated on. And this game, Franz Wagner, I guarantee he's gonna cook us. But
I
just
can't.
keep him as a scorer, not as a playmaker.
I can't see a world where the Knicks are sleeping on the Magic. I just can't because
I hope you're
of
right,
how
bro.
the Magic's played us tough, man. The Magic played us tough last year. Like
They're their team.
I know we ended up winning. Like I don't know, we ended up winning. I think the last game or so last season. But the Magic played us tough last year. Tall guys who can defend, lanky. Uh, yeah, it's not gonna be an easy game. I don't take those guys for granted at all. So I agree with you, Lee.
Yeah,
And do they play a switching defense? I feel like they have the archetype of a team who could
they do.
switch. Yeah. So we historically have not played well against switching defenses. That's when we struggle the most. Whenever we play a switching defense, our offense slows down. We end up ISO hunting, which in most cases, I mean, it's understandable that you ISO hunt with switching defense, but like we have to find a way to kind of do it with more of a flow of offense, getting people moving, doing it quicker, so we're not getting 24-second violations, kind of like how he was doing with Charlotte. We have to get better at that. So this is going to be a good test for us. This is going to be a good test for us for sure to see if we can keep up the high potency offense. And we're going to need Mikal to step it up again. OG, I'm hoping you drink some more secret sauce. It feels like you kind of ran out because we're going to need some offense against the Magic for sure.
That's a really great point you brought up with the switching defense. I think a lot of the times when you bring up that terminology, people think of Boston, but really Boston only switches when Horford is in for KP. So they have to rely on a bench player. I think the Magic are probably the best switching defense in the NBA because of Suggs and Wendell Carter Jr.'s versatility at the 1 to 5. Most teams have like 2 or 3 guys that can switch from a 2 to the 4. They have 5. Suggs, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, can also guard big guards who are posting up, and Wendell Carter Jr. has a lateral movement to stay on the perimeter. It makes it really tough. Now, they can't stop Cat. Cat's a freak of nature with his size and his three-point shooting ability. I'm more worried about OG and Josh Hart, and those two guys really being iced out on the perimeter. So I think we need to come out all guns blazing and really be aggressive in the first 10 to 15 possessions, trying to get rhythm and get quick shots, so we can control the pace of a game and limit long rebounds, get some good mates, and put our foot on the gas and the net early on in the game. Don't let it lag.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Lee, like, that switching defense thing is no joke. Like even the Hornets game, like I mentioned the Hornets game, but the Hornets they switched on us crazy too, and they're not like the best defensive team. I mean, they were when they played us, but they switched on us, and we ended up having 21 turnovers that game.
Yeah.
A couple of shot clock violations, Cat in offensive foul trouble. Like we really struggle with switching defenses, even against the lowly teams.
Yeah.
So
That And that's the point. Another team that has really a switchability at the 1 and the 5 when you think about LaMelo Ball, but also like the Mark Williams of the roster, Grant Williams before he got injured. Plus, then you add in the Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges, Josh Green. They have a lot of length on the perimeter. They're built very similar to Orlando. I think Orlando just has more skill, and Charlotte
Yeah,
has shooting. But yeah, those are two teams that again, that's why I said Charlotte was the one I was worried about of
yeah.
that away game stretch. Yeah, Orlando, we play them twice. Every other game, including Minnesota, very winnable for the Knicks. Orlando are the tests. We have one on Tuesday. Again, I really hope we come out really aggressive.
Me too. Me too. Me too. For sure. For sure. All right. All right. Now it's time for one part of the show. I don't. Do I have any bro picks? I know I have ooh picks. I got ooh picks. I do have an ooh pick. And my ooh pick for today, I got two. I'll do two ooh picks. First ooh pick goes to Mikal Bridges, who's busted out of his slump, giving you 31.7 threes after getting killed all over the media, even on his program. Gotta start out my ooh with Mikal Bridges. Busting those shots, ooh for Mikal Bridges for sure. My second ooh pick goes to a guy who has struggled offensively as of late. But even though he has struggled offensively, he has not let that affected his defense whatsoever. And that guy is none other than OG Anunoby, who to me had the play of the day when he came over from the weak side and blocked the hell out of Daniel Tice at the rim, met him at the rim like he was meeting his bride at the altar. He sent that joint. Play the game for me. Shout out to OG Anunoby for sure. For sure.
You stole my ooh pick. It was going to be Mikal Bridges, and I was going to mention his plus 40, but I think you did a good job summarizing why he deserves that award. I'm gonna go across the pond to a player that absolutely cooked us the game that I was at. Kyrie Irving, man, been loving the leadership my guy has been showing with a long stretch. I think a total of like 7 or 9 games where Luka Doncic wasn't playing, and Mavs had a winning record during that time. And Kyrie Irving not only has shown leadership, but I think has really orchestrate a pecking order on offense of who is a 2, 3, 4, 5 with Luka out, and they're running on all cylinders. They're awesome on offense and defense, top 10 in the NBA in defense and net rating. I love Kyrie Irving as a human too. He does so much work in the communities, both for his native ancestry, African American ancestry. He's one of those people who doesn't use his podium just as a pulpit for his political ideology, but he actually uses his wealth and his name to help people directly and indirectly. So yeah, Kyrie Irving, man, that's my guy. Much love.
Yeah. We gave a bruh pick too. I see somebody in the chat. I like that. I like that suggestion, chat. I like that suggestion. You gotta watch the chat sometime. Bruh pick going to the Sixers. All right.
Bruh.
Ooh.
They're imploding. Everybody's always hurt all the time. Joel Embiid is hurt again. And I love it. It's like a circus. I feel like karma has come back. I don't know. Maybe it was all the complaining from the fans that did it to me, or maybe it was just the fact that Joel Embiid pulled down Mitch Robinson while he was trying to go up.
Yep, that's it.
For a dunk, and Mitch Robinson is still out after coming back, trying to come back early. Pretty sure an action like that probably didn't help. So for sure, bro pick to the 76ers. Good
they really are living on the worst timeline of this past summer because their summer was incredible. Embiid played really solid and dominant in stretches for the Olympics. They went out and nabbed Paul George from the Clippers. They were able to re-sign Oubre. They drafted an excellent rookie in Jerry McCain. Like, damn, I really thought it was all going to come together and they were going to be a contender. Man, it's been cheats. And it's not just the injuries, man. It's the attitude. Morale is in the dumpster. Vibes are in the toilet. The locker room disruption. Like, really, Jerry McCain has only been the only bright spot on that team. That team looks old and raggedy and way past their prime. It's time to blow it up.
Yeah, it's time to blow it up. And it's you have to think like Joel Embiid and that knee has to be a real concern long term.
Yep.
Like you have to start to count down. Like, how many years does Joel Embiid have left in this league? Like, yeah, that's a real question.
Yep.
That's a real question. So, and how long will it be until Paul George is like, you know what? And how long till he pulls a James Harden or something? Because I don't know. I know he ain't coming in for that.
Is there a more stressful head coaching job right now than what Nick Nurse is dealing with in Philly?
More stressful. No.
I think it's more stressful than Doc because Milwaukee's starting to win. It's too early to say they're turning it around, but they're at least doing better than they were last month. Phillies, I don't see a bright future for Philly. I don't see a turnaround.
You know what? You know what? The Bucks might be there. I think the only reason they're not there because they're winning now. But I feel like those were probably 1 and 2 as far as stress goes. Now, actually, you know what? I would say if they weren't winning, I would put the Bucks over the 76ers if they weren't winning, because at least the 76ers can be like, oh, injuries. The Bucks, Damian Giannis is there. So if it's not working with Damian Giannis there, then you're just looking at the coach like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I would say it's the Bucks. It's just that they're kind of responding right now. And then I think 2 would be the 76ers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It looks like the Bucks have won 4, 5 in a row. Pretty solid. 5 in a row and like 7 out of the last 8. And they lost their one game to the Hornets by 1. So they're playing their ass off. I think right now Nick Nurse is probably not just having to deal with a shitty team, but also dealing with Joel Embiid's personality. That's got to be tough on its own.
That's the nail in the
Diva,
coffin.
man. Diva.
That's the nail. His personality is just trash, yo.
It is.
Man, like so much talent. He's like so talented though. Yo. It's one of those things where like the sliders are up everywhere else, and it's like, man, if he just had like 2% attitude adjustment, it could be a different story for the 76ers.
Yep.
But I don't know. It might be too late now because he's 30 and his knees are going bad. So I don't know. It might be too late. He might have needed that like years ago. Huh?
Yep. I agree with you 100%. I think it is too late. They're at an interesting crossroads. Not that this is like all of a sudden a citrus podcast, but if they blew it up, they could remain competitive building around Jared McCain, and Tyrese Maxey. That's a star-studded backcourt. Start that kid, the rookie, and get whatever you can for Paul George, maybe just a salary dump, and get some picks back from Embiid. Keep Oubre, you can even keep Caleb Martin, keep Lowry, whatever. But that backcourt, man, McCain is the truth. He's a baller. He plays good defense too.
I'm not gonna hold you. I would agree. Since they're already bad, you already have a nucleus of Maxey and McCain. You can blow it up early, get the picks for this draft, and then be good. You can probably be good quick.
Right, you could probably be in the play-in with just those two. I think those two get you to the play-in in the East,
yeah,
not the West.
Shoot, if I'm the Sixers, I might trust the process again. I'm not even gonna hold you. I might trust the process to see if I'm the 76ers. What am I in the play-in for?
If you moved Paul George and Embiid, I mean, damn it, he's gonna put up MVP numbers. Maxey, it's gonna be unbelievable stats.
Yeah, who the hell would take Joel Embiid at this point? That's the real question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like, who wants Joel Embiid now? Is that like 2 years ago? That seems preposterous. But what's Joel Embiid's value today? Is a good question. I don't even know what his value is right now.
Yeah, it would have to be teams in equally desperate situation. Like I just see maybe New Orleans cashing in some of their wings for Embiid.
Ooh, getting back Ingram and Zion or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably Ingram and Zion.
That's still a bad situation for. If I'm the 76ers, that's still a bad situation. I mean, the only good thing is they're younger.
Right.
But Zion, with his injury history, you trading one injured player for another. Maybe go Ingram. Maybe stay away from Zion and go Ingram. And Ingram and some of their like Trey Murphys and salary guys or something like that. That might be the way to go.
I don't. What I will say is, I don't think there's a route for Embiid to win a championship. Not in Philly, nor with a realistic team that he would be traded to. I don't. I think the window's closed for him.
Trade him to the Clippers. Oh man, trade him to the Clippers. Oh man,
I don't think Clippers have the picks though, because OKC has them all.
I just thought it was
trade.
funny to have to reunite him with James Harden. That's all.
Yeah.
Never mind. All right. Bad joke. All right. Golden State.
That's interesting. That made sense.
Hmm.
Yo, Kuminga, let's go on Philly.
That might be interesting.
That's a good one.
Would Golden State do that? Maybe.
I think they would.
Damn, Fritz, that was a good one.
Give that white guy up, Podzinski or whatever, him and Kuminga.
Yeah. Huh.
Wiggins would probably do the salary.
I thought the Rockets would, but I don't know if they would want to give up Sengun and
Hell no.
Like I feel like your core is too level-headed.
Definitely. Yeah.
Huh?
I agree with you. It's got to be one of those older teams that we've been mentioning. New Orleans, Clippers.
Yeah. Like I feel like they would take a flyer on Paul George faster than they would Embiid, because at least Paul George is not crazy. I don't know. All right. Let's turn to the 76ers podcast for the last 5 minutes, but hopefully you guys are still enjoying the general basketball talk now that we blew out a team about like 400 points. So,
Having fun.
We're having fun, damn it. We're having fun. All right. Well, I haven't watched any anime in a while, so I have no anime recommendations.
I don't have any book club recommendations, but I was excited to announce on the podcast. I've been writing for The Infatuation, which is a huge restaurant website. I've been doing lists for Dallas, like best sushi, best overall restaurants. Just got picked up for a contract for Michelin, writing for their website, interviewing chefs and people in the kitchen, and also just got 3 pitches approved by ESPN. So I'll be starting to work on those as well this month, and a lot of them are related to Dallas. So I'll be really shining a light on the Dallas high school community here that I believe has turned into the nation's mecca for lottery talent.
ESPN contributor Elias Beto strikes again, man.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Big things. All right, yo, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, Lee, let them know they can find you, sir.
On Twitter at @LeeEscobedo, @ _LeeEscobedo, LeeEscobedo.
Yeah, and East Blue Drew said he apologized to Mikal. That's what's up. I see you. He still got to do some more. All right, let's get to it. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook. Sure. I almost want to put we are on TikTok as well at the Knick of Time Show. I almost want to put the link in the description just so I can put a few comments on TikTok and I can just like it. Just to get these TikTok numbers up. Now I'm saying encourage people to interact with us. But thank you guys. Shout out to you guys. Hold on a second. Oops. Hold on a second. 1 second. I got alert. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Definitely appreciate it. And we'll be back on Tuesday. All right. So that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.